time here in the night, and all we feel that it's such a good ride. What we call life, it can't be real. So we keep on dancing to the beat. Yeah, we keep on moving our feet. Yeah, we keep on dancing to the beat. And we keep on moving our feet. We keep on dancing, keep on loving, keep on making it real.
Hello all, and welcome to my next video. I am in Drumnadrochit and I'm about to go into the Loch Ness Visitor Centre to learn all about the Loch Ness Monster. I'm not sure if you can take the camera in. I'm going to pop it in my bag anyway. I've got a feeling you can't film, but I'm really interested in the Loch Ness Monster. So I've got a couple of visits to some places planned. I've just driven along the side of Loch Ness, which is stunning. It's so beautiful. It's about an hour and 20 minutes away from me. Got these two with me because we're doing an overnighter, aren't we, Bubbas? Yeah. Last one before Gladys goes in for her MOT, so a last hurrah in case I don't get her back for a while. So I've got 10 minutes to get down to the visitor centre and get myself checked in. So hopefully I can pick you up in there and tell you all about Nessie. It's very sunny. I'm on my way in. There's Gladys. I've left the dogs in the van, but you can take dogs in, but apparently there are some quite loud parts of it, so I've decided to leave my two in the van. On the day I think it's about 19 quid. If you pre-book it's about £14 out of season. So I'm on my way to go and find where I'm supposed to go.
It's easy to imagine with this awe-inspiring landscape around you that human feet have never trod here. This very building is not only the official home of the Loch Ness project, but also in 1933 was at the epicentre of the Loch Ness phenomenon. They blocked the great ocean currents that had kept the northern seas warm. Now, when snow fell, instead of melting, it settled.
Well, this is really interesting. On to the next bit.
Which just means we don't really know when something happened. So let's say about 10,000 years ago, the Ice Age thawed and people settled in Scotland's Great Glen. The waters of Loch Ness are indeed a mirror for the human imagination. Our very own Loch Ness Monster, Nessie. Oh, there are those who'll tell you that Nessie is a Scandinavian, a memory of the prow of a Viking longship coming out the mists.
Now the next bit where we learn about Nessie. The last bit was myths and legends, which I love.
Don't be shy now.
I'm not recording a lot, I've got a feeling the music will be copyrighted. Now we're moving on to underwater investigations.
180 million years old. Old enough to be our own Jurassic Park. If it's wildlife you want, the loch has plenty. Salmon, eels, otters, even the odd adventurous seal. Have any of these creatures made a swim-on part as Nessie over the years?
This is one of
All
the
about the Loch Ness investigation.
on a 35mm moving camera. So you can see a beach ball a mile away at 20.
Right at the last bit now, you have to decide whether we need Nessie.
Or do you still?
I really enjoyed that. That was loads of fun. This time of year, it was so quiet. There was a family in front of me, but they were always in the next room in front of me, so I was in the rooms on my own. Yeah, I loved it. It's brilliant. And I got myself a little Nessie. Look how cute. I love it. So, I'm going to go on to my next destination, have myself some food while I'm there, and take you round. That's if I can get a ticket to get in. Fingers crossed I should, because it's nice and quiet up here at the moment. That's why it's great to do things up here in the winter. Are you ready for another journey? Yeah? No? The earliest written account of our famous Nessie dates back to 565 AD, where an Irish abbot and missionary named St. Columba made the journey to convert the Picts to Christianity and spread the word of God. According to his account, a beast close to Loch Ness fatally injured a Pictish man who was swimming. When it went to attack another, Columba intervened, made the sign of the cross, and banished the creature to Loch Ness forever. The text which is probably best known was the article in the Inverness Courier, published in May 1933. Aldi Mackay was driving with her husband on the A82 and said she spotted something the size of a whale in the loch. After the release of the article, people started to use the word monster, and it soon became a widespread media phenomenon. Numerous other sightings have been reported as the years went by. In the mid-60s, Loch Ness Investigations Bureau carried out an observation survey. This recorded an average of 20 sightings of the creature per year. In May 2019, researchers came from New Zealand to undertake a massive project of DNA sampling every organism that swims in the loch. The reports confirmed that the sightings of Nessie could in fact be a European eel. These creatures can reach a maximum length of 9 foot 10 inches and weigh in at roughly 72 kilograms, in the largest of the species. Our beloved Nessie could be a very large eel, or she could be a mystical creature from time gone by. Whatever she is, she keeps her secret and stays hidden in the deep, peaty waters of Loch Ness. I'm at my next destination, literally 5 minutes down the road, Urquhart Castle. I'm going to have a quick sandwich because I'm pretty hungry, and then I'm going to go and have a little explore around the castle. Again, I'm not going to take these two, just because they get a bit stressed. Walking up and around a castle with people is probably not going to make them feel any better. And once I've done this, I'll head over to my park up, fingers crossed, and get in. And then they can settle down for the night. And then there's another thing for me to do tomorrow. I did want to set the drone up around the castle, but it's very, very windy on Loch Ness today, so I probably won't do that, but we'll see tomorrow, see if I can get it out around the loch. It's, as you know, it's a huge loch. It's 23 miles long, I think, and about a mile wide at its widest point. And it's one of the biggest lochs by volume. So I think at its deepest point it's 755 feet, and it is said that Loch Ness, all the lakes in England and Wales, will fit into Loch Ness and still not fill it. So that's a lot of water. I know I don't eat when I'm on the move, so I had the foresight to make myself a sandwich and make myself eat some food. On my next stop, I brought you to Urquhart Castle. There it is. And there is Loch Ness. Urquhart Castle. I think Urquhart means castle beyond the wood, and it's just a ruin, but yeah, it looks amazing. Look at it. I did have a look. It says no drone flying, so I wouldn't have been able to fly it anyway, but how amazing is that? So we're going to go in and have a look at the ruins. Urquhart Castle is described as the greatest castle in the Scottish Highlands, and it's understandable when you look at the backdrop to it. It's so beautiful. Look at that thing. So it said there is no evidence that they were used against Urquhart Castle, but have found 11 rough-hewn stone balls that may have been used as projectiles as many as 700 years ago in the Wars of Independence. So that's the sort of thing that would have been used to launch them. Look at it. It's massive. I can't even say that. Tribuch. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm glad I brought my hat and gloves because it's rather chilly here today. You can see by the waves on Loch Ness. Could be the monster under there making them, you never know. Crossing over the moat. What would have been the moat in order to get to the castle? I'm heading up to the guardhouse. These stairs. Imagine it's going to be windy up here. This would have been the private lounge of the keeper of the castle, the keeper's lodging. And the keeper was one of the most important people in the castle. He was responsible for all sorts of things, from overseeing defences to building parts of the castle. So he was here. Nice view. And in here is a prison cell. There we go. That man scared me to death, then it made me jump. So there was said there was a Gaelic bird, Domhnall Dunn, who was locked up in here in the 1600s, and whilst he was imprisoned here he composed many songs. I'm about to enter the Great Tower, built in 1509 as a reward for supporting the monarch in his struggle against the MacDonald Lord of the Isles. Going inside because it's very windy. Ooh, should we go down here? Might be a bit spooky. If we can get down these steps. Oh my god. I'm not into this. It just takes you out onto a little viewpoint. Look. And into here. Well, there's some carvings of the castle. Fragments that survive displayed here to help us understand the castle structure. This is the storeroom apparently. Back up we go. That's how narrow we are. It's not fun. Only got little feet. Do we go up as well? Might as well, seeing as I paid 15 quid to get in here. The hell, these people must have had long legs. Look at the size of the stairs. This is one way out. Into the private chamber. I think I'm going to carry on going up there. Let's see where we end up. It's very windy up here. Ta-da! I'm at the top. Look at that view. Don't look down. That's cool. You can go down the more conventional way, like i.e. these stairs. I just chose to come up the most difficult way, clearly. Look at all the scratchings in the wall there. Known as the guardian of the Great Glen, Urquhart Castle creates an imposing feature overlooking the famous Loch Ness. Long ago, before Urquhart Castle was even thought about, the Great Glen held its deepest valley. The valley's pathways wound up and down its steep sides, and it was the home for a large number of settlers who took advantage of the valley's fertile land and abundance of food. It is said that the settlers had access to a magical well, a spring which Dali the Druid had brought forth healing waters to cure all ills. There was one condition upon using the well. After each use, the cover must be placed back upon the well, otherwise it could rise up and destroy the entire valley. One day a young mother was using the well. She heard her child crying and left to attend to the infant, leaving the well uncovered. Upon her realisation she had neglected to recover the well, she hurried back to find a tower of water gushing from the well with tremendous force. She ran with her baby, climbing up the steep sides of the valley. Other settlers, upon hearing the sound of the destruction, also fled, leaving behind their homes and possessions. They escaped with nothing but their lives and the clothes on their backs. One of the settlers turned back to look at his home and exclaimed, "The Loch Ness," which means there is a lake in it now. The valley of the Great Glen now takes its name from these words, Loch Ness, Loch Ness. This gate was called the Water Gate, which linked Urquhart Castle to the outside world. And you can get down towards the water. Let's go and have a look at Loch Ness. There she is, the famous home of Nessie. The wind is picking up a lot, and my park up is by the side of the loch, in that direction. So we'll see what that's like, shall we? I don't know whether I might have to move. This little round thing that I'm stood in would have been called a ducat. It was a beehive in shape, and it was house pigeons, which they use for eggs and meat during the harsh winter months. Never knew that, but that's what it would have looked like. Dove Grove, under the terms of grant of Urquhart in 1509. How cool is that? I didn't know the pigeon. There we go, you can see how it was extended over the centuries till the 1500s, and now obviously it's a ruin. It's beautiful though, it's in such a beautiful spot. Loch Ness is stunning. Bit scary but stunning. Just up here, we've got the Scottish flag flying high. You probably can't see it on my little camera, but I think I'm done. It's very windy, it's quite cold. I'm going to go back to my little dogs. I'm going to find my way out of this castle because it's absolutely massive. That's where I was before. I do not like the A82. It's a fast road, it's a 60, and we all know Gladys is quite a slow old van. She's probably one of the slowest on the road, to be fair. There's sort of a queue of traffic coming up behind me. So hopefully it's not that far away to my park up. There's only 2 spots there, so I'm hoping I can get in one of them. If not, it's down to plan B, which I'm not too keen on because I think it's going to be quite remote and I reckon I'm going to be on my own. We'll see. I'm just going to go for a little walk by the water, and then I'm going to go and get my little doggos and head off to my hopeful park up for the evening. I love it down here though, it's beautiful. I've never been to Loch Ness, it's the first time I've ever seen this body of water. But yeah, it's just as beautiful as I imagine. The water is very dark in Loch Ness because it's very peaty, so you can't see down into it. But look at it, it's amazing. Obviously in the summer you can do all the boat cruises and the sonar cruises and stuff. Even in the summer, probably not for me because I do not have very good water legs, and it's a very deep loch, and there's cold water, warm water from the top meeting cooler water, and then warm water from the bottom, which creates these waves, so it's quite wavy quite a lot of the time. Yeah, so down there is where you get your little Jacobite cruises, so obviously you can include the castle as part of your tour. I think it's the same price all year, £14.50 for an adult, which I don't find that bad. Obviously I'm doing a free park up, so I can afford to spend a bit more money on doing things like the Loch Ness Centre and this. Here we go, we can get right down to Loch Ness. I wonder if the monster's going to come and try and eat me. Oh wow, it looks beautiful here though, look. Time to say goodbye to the castle and this little part of Loch Ness and venture further down this side of it. Hopefully find my park up. Creates a very imposing figure, doesn't it? Sitting at the side of Loch Ness. You can imagine what it was like back in the medieval times. Okay, I made it to my park up. I will take you out and show you where I am parked in a moment, but currently it's raining outside, so I got here just at the right time. But you can just see Loch Ness at the side of me there. Daisy's having a drink, and Doug's having a mooch. I'm gonna make myself a cuppa because that was a little bit stressful. I don't like driving on the A82. You can hear it from here, but I am a little bit off the road. I will take you out and show you exactly where I am in a minute when I've made my cuppa and I've calmed down a little bit. While my tea is brewing, I got some of these. Well, these are the internal windscreen covers because, as you know, the van, it was very cold last time I went to the Unlucky Bay and the whole front was condensated. So we're going to give these a go and see how they go. They're supposed to be 9 ply, which means that they're like thermal and warm, and they're supposed to be good for a T4. I haven't tried them yet, so we will see how this goes. Okay, they're up. Possibly my bad fitting, but they don't seem to fully fit the windows properly. A bit too big, but I suppose too big's better than too small. So we'll see how we get on with that overnight and whether it keeps us nice and twisty. You say nice and twisty? Have you had your dinner? Yeah. You share mummy's cup of tea? He's knackered. They don't like doing this travelling malarkey, bless them. I think I stressed them out because I get a little bit stressed too, but I'm alright now. Let them stopped. But I've got another thing I'm going to go and visit on the way back in the morning. It's a little bit, it's on the way back and out of the way a bit and then back onto track again, but yeah. looks like I'll be all right here. I am the only van. There's no vans parked up down the side of Loch Ness at all, so I probably am going to be the only van all night. It's raining. It's a wee bit muddy, but this is where I am. Loch Ness is just there. The actual lay-by and bins are just here, but this is a little cut-in. There's a spot there. Decided not to park there because it's very, very muddy, and one just here as well. My silver screens look okay from the outside. Obviously could have done with making the front a bit neater, but hopefully they do the job. So now I'm going to hole up because it is actually raining and spend my evening with these two. The diesel heater is on. I've got the door cracked a little bit to try and keep the condensation down. It's cosy, even though you can hear quite a lot of traffic going past. I'm hoping it does go a lot quieter. 82 is a very, very busy road, especially on this side of the loch. But hopefully it'll be a better day tomorrow. It looks like it's going to be a better day weather-wise, so I might head back up the loch slowly, do a couple of stop-offs, and there is something I want to go and see. What is wrong with you? Why are you whinging? Daisy's not whinging. I just had some chocolate, that's probably why they're whinging. But yeah, I figured we better go for one last jaunt before she goes in for her MOT next week. Just because I don't know whether she'll pass. I don't know whether it's going to be in there for weeks. I've got no idea what's going to go on, so I wanted to come over and come to Loch Ness. I did have some other things planned, but it didn't work out, so I'm glad I went to the castle. I'm really glad I went to Loch Ness Centre, because some people say, oh, you know, it's not worth going, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good fun. Obviously I couldn't film a lot in there because they would have had copyright on the music that was on the things that it was saying, and it was David Tennant that narrated it, and the guy that was in there was telling me he did it all in one take. Literally, like when I do a voiceover, it probably takes me about 5 takes to just do one little tiny bit. So yeah, that was really good. But that's it for this evening from me. I'm just gonna put my pyjamas on, I think, and relax for the rest of the night. I'll see you in the morning. Morning all. Happy to report I had a good night's sleep, fairly good night's sleep. I woke up a couple of times. I don't think it was because of the traffic, I think it was just because of me. I was just making myself a cup of tea. I just took one of these off, and it's not that bad actually. It's not as bad as it was without them, and the van is definitely a lot warmer, so they do work. Obviously I've only got them for the cab and not for all of the windows. All of the windows have just got curtains on. But yeah, I was sat in the cab last night in this swivelly passenger seat, and it made a massive difference. But as you can see, the sun is pretty much up. I've been faffing around trying to get the van ready to move, so I just need to have some breakfast, get dressed, take these two for a wee. Well, they look like they want to go anywhere. They did not want to get off the bed for me to make it, did you? And then I'm off to my next destination, which is about half an hour drive away from here, but it only adds about 15 minutes onto my journey on the way back, so it's not too bad. The trucks that you can hear going past pretty much stopped overnight. You didn't hear that many of them at all, so it was fairly peaceful. Obviously it is winter, so it's not full of tourists and stuff at the moment, so it's a lot quieter up here. Maybe it would be rather busy in the summer, I reckon, and you probably wouldn't get in here because it's literally only 2 spaces for relatively small vans. We're on our way to the next destination, but we have to wait for a convoy vehicle. It's coming down now, but it seems to take some time, so it must be a rather large roadways. I've never seen something like that before. Oh well, here he comes, so hopefully I'll get on my way soon. This is the other park up that I could have done, Corrimony Chambered Cairn, but it's very deserted. A bit difficult to get here, so I'm going to go down and see if I can have a look at it. A bit of the journey is a single track road like this, which I don't like doing, as you know, but fortunately there's not a lot of traffic around this time of year. Just 100 yards down the road you come to the access gate to get into it. So this chambered cairn is a burial chamber, probably from the Bronze Age, about 4,000 years ago, and it hints that they found in 1952 they found imprints of a shadow of a woman who was buried here, so probably a very important woman. But yeah, looking at about 4,000 years, and then things have been added through the Victorian times. But this is the actual cairn. There's a ring of standing stones around it, and you can actually go inside. Let's see if I can crawl in. Oh wow, you would have to crawl. So I'm inside the cairn. As you can see, that is the passageway, so it's a hands and knees job to get inside, but apparently the imprint of the woman was found on the sand here. So they think that she was a very important woman from sometime in the Bronze Age, about 4,000 years ago. Yeah, it's a cool little place. Can't get back out of there yet though. Here we go again. I've already got dirty knees. So literally, you do have to get on your hands and knees in order to get out, because this is me in comparison, squatting down. I'm not filming this bit, it is not very graceful. I'm out. You can do a bit of a bear crawl to get in there, but yeah, look, that's the passageway. Unless you're very, very wee, you're not going to get in there unless you get on your hands and knees. Oh, it's a bit of exercise for first thing in the morning. Beautiful morning. You can just about see Gladys through the trees over there. I left the doggos in. It's probably a good job because they would have just dragged me through that tunnel. So I'm going to head back to site. Really need to give Gladys a wash before her MOT. So hopefully the weather's like this and I can get it done and get myself ready for work tomorrow. The only problem when you go away is you've got to spend your day back trying to get ready. So I'm going to get on my toes and get back to site, I think. Anyone seen Final Destination? I really like to overtake this. Unfortunately, Gladys was not quick enough. Fortunately, they're not huge logs like they were in Final Destination, but I do not like being behind it after watching that film. We're back safe and sound. The logs didn't get us. I did have a casualty though. I've just washed Gladys, so she's all ready for her MOT on Wednesday. But the car came round the bend on my side of the road and the TV went flying, the brackets come off the wall, it knocked my little scenty thing everywhere. Dogs were scared, so I had to pull over and sort it out in Drumnadrockit, so it took us a bit longer to get home. But we're home safe and sound, van's clean, so I need to do my washing, clean myself and get ready for the rest of the week. That's fun, isn't it? So I'm going to leave you with this video here and I'll pick you up in the next one. Fingers crossed, God be willing, she passes her MOT. Fingers crossed, because I love this little van and I really want to carry on my adventures, so keep everything crossed for her, please.